How did we find out about Flintons? Because one of our team, Esme Ash, tried to rent a flat from them and soon became suspicious. She's been undercover to get the full story.
Searching for a room to rent, especially in central London, can be tough, as anyone who's tried it will know. There's a Wild West feel to it. There are many honest landlords and letting agents, but this programme has found one particular letting agency has been demanding hundreds of pounds in payment before prospective tenants are even allowed to view properties for rent. We've been told this practice breaches guidelines and could be unlawful, and we've gone undercover to expose them.
We can do reservation from £300.
If I want to see this tomorrow, I have to pay you.
If you want to make sure it's going to be available tomorrow, you have to reserve it now.
Okay.
We were trying to reason with her, and I think there's no reasoning with these people because they just don't want to be reasoned with.
Just praying like, oh my God, please let it work out, let us get our money back.
We've been told the same story time and time again. Prospective tenants respond to adverts for plush-looking flats online. They're given an address to go to, but instead of a flat, it turns out to be the office of a lettings agent called Flintons. After a consultation, the flat hunter is told that before they can even see a property, they must pay an upfront £300 deposit. And worse still, some clients have even been told that if they don't like the place after a viewing, they shouldn't worry because the money is refundable. But then it turns out that it's not refundable after all. This is £135 a week. There's an absolute bargain for London. You think, okay. And it's something that very nearly happened to me. So after my near miss, a colleague, John, and I started to investigate.
We lost £300, and that's the thing I think I want to look further into.
Israel and his friend Harry responded to one of Flinton's adverts. He says they went to see an agent who told them they needed to pay a deposit to see a room, but that it would be refundable.
So she explained the whole offer of if you pay a holding fee, you can change your room. And like, we can get our money back, can't we, as well? She's like, oh yeah, you can do that. But just not even like a proper affirmation, just like, yeah, we can do that, that's fine.
After paying £300 each to see the property, Israel says it wasn't long before he realised something was wrong, and his suspicions worsened after looking at online reviews of Flintons. In the end, they chose not to see the flat and decided instead to seek an immediate refund. They returned to Flintons to confront the agent in person.
First thing we said, so why can't we get our money back? We didn't say hello, just why can't we get our money back? We just wanted to get it done with. She literally got to the point where like, we were talking to her saying, but you basically told us we could get our money back. You told us this and that. £300 is half of my rent gone. I feel annoyed about it. I always get really riled up when I talk about Flintons because it's just knowing that that £300 is just with them. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. I don't have the money to sue them. I don't have legal expertise to deal with it. Just, again, powerless.
Magdiel and Marielle responded to an advert they'd seen and went to Flintons with their friend Marielle, where they say they were shown pictures of the flat by one of the agents. When they agreed to a viewing, they say they were told they'd have to pay £300 each, a total of £900, before they even saw the property.
They went, so you have to pay £300 because that's what we charge for the viewing. And then we were like, no, like
who does that?
Yeah, who does that? And we're laughing, like, who does that? That's not gonna happen. It's just like, oh, then we cannot show you the property.
We got to a point where we were like, okay, I understand, but what if we do pay and we don't like the place? Do we get our money back? And she's like, yes, you get your money back. She was laughing. This was a joke. She was like, of course you get your money back, or else we would have been in prison. She said we would have been in jail.
So we go to pay, and we paid, and we went to the place. We are there, we see everything.
Horrible.
Not satisfied with the state of the property, they turned to the agent who had organised the viewing and the payment. They asked for the refund they said they were promised.
And she's like, money back? I don't know anything about money. And we're like, what do you mean? No, I just show you the place. They steal from you and they laugh in your face, like they lie in your face, and I'm like,
it was a complete joke. It was a complete joke for them.
Flintons told us they issue receipts specifying that the sums involved were non-refundable. But whilst this is true, Israel and others said they only received the receipts after they had paid. They also say they'd been assured verbally that they could get their money back and that they felt under pressure to pay the money immediately.
Yeah, it's recording.
It's recording?
Yep. You just text me, yeah?
After hearing these stories, we decided to go back to Flintons with hidden cameras. I went in, leaving colleagues stationed outside. I had responded to an online ad, and as expected, I was given the address of the Flintons estate agency. I was eventually able to speak to one of the agents.
We can do reservation from £300.
What is it, sorry? A reservation fee?
Reservation. No, it's not a reservation. It's like a part of the deposit.
Unlike some cases we've been told about, the agent did explain that this payment was non-refundable, but was clear that if I wanted to see any of the available properties, I would have to pay this money up front.
If I want to see this tomorrow, I have to pay you.
If you want to make sure it's going to be available tomorrow, you have to reserve it now.
Okay.
So, is it legal to demand upfront deposits before you can view a room to rent? We showed David Smith, a property lawyer, our findings.
Asking someone for money without being able to see what that contract is about to do a viewing would be quite likely to be seen by professional people in the property sector as unreasonable and unfair behaviour, and therefore is very likely to be an offence under the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations. Another offence.
David also pointed to guidance saying that to require a deposit from a prospective tenant before they've been given the opportunity to inspect the property or the tenancy agreement could constitute an aggressive practice and therefore be unlawful. And what's more, the Property Ombudsman, a regulatory body, told us that no monies should be charged to allow a tenant to view a property. So our view is that the agent is not treating the tenant fairly, and we would not expect them to ask for any monies to allow a viewing to proceed. In response to our film, Labour told us that they are calling for tighter regulation.
The example that you've brought forward is really dreadful, but I can't help but think that that is the tip of the iceberg. We'll never really know how many people are exploited in this way because so few people will be aware that they could go to their local authority to register a complaint. We know that the rental market, because it is so highly pressurised, that people are ripe for exploitation. So that's why we've been calling on the government to take much tougher action and give greater protection to those people who are renting and seeking to rent.
Flintons deny any wrongdoing. They have told us that they do not charge any fees for viewings and payment is only taken when a person confirms that they wish to take the property. They say that their holding deposits are always non-refundable and they don't believe there would be any purpose in taking deposits if you could get your money back. Flintons also told us that all the people in our report were made aware that their deposits were not refundable and they don't agree with the alleged version of events.